Live to tape from Tampa, Florida, with your host, Andy Signore. He may have lost the fight, but he'll win the war. This is Nerd Wars.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Nerd Wars. And we are here live in Tampa with four of the best nerds I know. Let's see them today. Woo! So happy for this crew to be here. We are here to do a divisive topic that I'm sure is going to get lots of attention because people just think I'm doing these episodes to spur fights in the internets. I mean, sure, I'm doing that a little bit, but I like having discussions where I have two sides with different opinions come and argue about it and get passionate. That's what this show's about. So this week we're going there. We're going to ask about, I mean, everyone is just sucking this guy's dick. Let's say it for what it is. Jordan Peele. He is a talented person. I love Key Peele. I don't want to show my cards on where I stand on the movies yet. We'll get there. But between now Get Out, Us, and now he's doing Twilight Zone, I mean, it seems like this guy can't fail. And this guy, they're lauding him as the next Hitchcock, all of this stuff. And so I wanted to really bring in four people, two of which who think could be the next Hitchcock. He is that good. He's not overrated. And two people who think he's more M. Night Shyamalan. So let's talk and meet who's fighting which. Happy to be here. I'm Andy Signore as always. And now let's meet our fighters for today. Over on the Hitchcock side, you guys think he is going to be genius and closer to the Hitchcock realm. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
Great. Okay, let's meet the defenders of Jordan Peele. We have Ian. Welcome back to the show.
How to do? How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing great. Welcome to have you. I'm happy to have you back. The controversy.
The controversy.
How's it going on YouTube?
Yeah. That's what's going on over there on YouTube. The controversy.
Good. Well, we'll go check it out. All the links below. Welcome back. Next to you, so happy to have a friend of mine, Valerie. Welcome.
Nice to be here again.
You got to do the Halloween review with me way back. That was a lot of fun.
I was so excited about that.
That was your debut on Popcorn Planet.
It was.
Well, let's see who disagrees with you. Over here on the M. Night Shyamalan side, we got to welcome back Damien. What's up, Damien?
Hey, what's up, Andy? How you doing, man?
So you think M. Night Shyamalan is overrated?
Yes, M. Night is overrated, and Jordan Peele is also going to follow that route, unfortunately.
Wow. Thank you for correcting me, and I like how you did that.
No problem.
You're right.
But yeah, and I'll tell you what, man. I think he's getting a lot of press and fluff, and good for him, great marketing, but his movies here.
And you're not just saying that because we're riling audiences here.
No, actually, if I said anything other than that, my wife would actually be like, "What are you talking about? Your opinions suck." So this is a shared couple's opinion right now. Okay, so yeah.
All right, and Lee, you're joining the fight here. You're going against Jordan. I mean, it sounds like you liked his films a little bit more, but you do not think he's going to be the next Hitchcock.
I like Jordan Peele. I like some of the stuff he's done. Us was just, it wasn't there, and you know what? A lot of reviews said, hey, he didn't hit the sophomore slump, but he did. The second movie was not as good as Get Out, and I feel like if he keeps going on this trajectory of twists and turns, people are just going to expect it like we do in every M. Night Shyamalan film. It's like, where is it? Okay, the dead people. All right, he saw them the entire time.
All right. Well, I mean, it is. Let's be honest. We're being unfair here because he's only made 2 films. So how do we really do this? Well, we got to speculate a little bit. But we do have 2 pieces of work. There's also the Twilight Zone just came out. I saw episode 1. I was not a fan. If anybody, that may come into the conversation. And obviously, I think we all agree Jordan Peele is a really smart, funny, likable guy. I actually really like Jordan Peele. But I think it is a fair argument here to have. Is he getting too much accolade? Is it sort of too soon, too fast? Should he be given some time to really figure it out? Let's get into it. Let's start out by breaking this into three spots. I want to basically start out with Get Out. Is Get Out worthy of all the accolades? Is it a great film? And then we're going to talk about Us. Is that a great film? And then we're just going to talk about, lastly, does he deserve all this hype, judging by our reactions? But let's start with the pro Jordan Peele side. Get Out. What are your thoughts? Great film?
Great
Why?
film. Absolutely. I think it's a great film because it's something that we need in our society right now. It's more of a social commentary topic movie, and it's something people can relate to, especially somebody of color. Maybe even, a woman can relate to being put in a situation that they, not particularly are in all the time. And I think, and to comment on something else that was said too, I think he's more of a detailed person than a twist person, in my opinion. But we could talk about that a little bit more later. But I did like Get Out a lot.
Good. Just speaking to your mics a little tighter so we can hear you. And Valerie, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a great film. I was just saying to Ian that He's just a breath of fresh air, I think, in the horror genre because nowadays everything's just possession movies. It's predictable, the same crap over and over again. It was just nice to see something that was different, and I thought it was awesome. I liked it.
Oh my God, you're so right. Like how I'm so confused which ones are Annabelle movies or Conjuring movies or Purge
and
movies.
And there's like another Annabelle coming out. I'm like, what the? It's the same stuff over and over
They're
again.
just spinning that
and
off.
sadly, I'll go and see it and then be like, oh, it's the same stuff over and over again.
Definitely. I do want more original content. I 100% agree with you. Everything's a sequel or a prequel nowadays.
So, but Get Out specifically, what was it about Get Out that you thought was, you know what, this guy's got something?
Original content, relatable things. I didn't really like the twist as much as everybody else did, but like I said, I did like the detail of the movie. Like, it's very rewatchable. You can get something different at every time. Kind of like a Hitchcock movie as well.
Okay, guys, Get Out. Is it a good film?
No. No, it's not. Let's put it this way. If it's executed technically, it's executed wonderfully. I think there's some beautiful scenes in it. The acting of it was good. There are some really refreshing moments in Get Out. I will agree with those aspects of it, and I do agree that he does attempt to bring something to the table that's new, something that's like, hey, you haven't seen certain people portrayed, black people portrayed in this particular way. When the one dude was walking down the neighborhood and he saw like something that could probably cause trouble for a black person, he's like, nope, not today. That was refreshing.
That's real.
That's a real thing.
Exactly.
That's a real thing. That was refreshing. When the white girl, stood up for her boyfriend and said, yo, stop harassing my man, I was like, cool, that's refreshing. Everything for the first half of the film, I'm like, this is something new. And then we got into the part where the guy running football drills, you know what I mean, in the middle of the yard, in the middle of the night.
It was track.
And
drills.
he track, whatever. It doesn't matter. If the guy comes running at me, I would have been like, oh, man, my bad, man. Let me get a ball, man. We can run routines. I wasn't scared. That wasn't scary. And then, the teacup thing and the sunken place, I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. But then the whole reason, the whole purpose, the concept started just unraveling and falling apart towards the end. I'm like, wait, hold on. Let me understand this correctly. White people who are very rich and have a lot of privilege are picking average black men to become? That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense. Like, if you're going to pick a black dude, pick, Tyson. Pick a good-looking black dude. A nice, big, hunky brother.
Really,
you know what I mean?
Just Tyson. You really think it just, hey,
man,
Tyson, come over.
They're rich. They could have just been like, hey, Tyson, we got a role for you, and then just new
Tyson
spinoff.
will bite an ear off. He ain't gonna. You can't get out, Tyson.
They could have
He
got.
seems easy to hypnotize.
Yeah, I feel like he'd be really.
Yeah, man.
feel like he would have followed that spoon really.
They didn't put a spoon on there, but like, listen, I'm just gonna get you more pennies. They'd have been fine.
Okay.
They got him a new record deal. He'd have been good. He'd have sat there and listened to you tinkle on that glass all day. It doesn't make sense. And then on top of that the inventor, the guy who found the technology, is gonna sit there and go, you know what I'm gonna be? I'm gonna pretend to be the gardener as my cover. Really? The rich dude? That's what he wants to be? He wants to be a gardener?
Not to mention, he didn't help with any of the procedures at all in the medical
None
stuff.
of
He
it.
wasn't there. He was just, no, I'm just going to be upstairs doing my thing. Like, why wouldn't he have helped with the procedure?
He's the grandfather.
He's the
I
grandfather.
forgot
He's the
about
one who
that.
wanted it all to happen.
He was the guy who invented it and made it all happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, so my
That
cover
was
is
a tacked on twist.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait, they were the grandfather.
Oh, he was
the
envious
grandfather.
of black athleticism, and so I want to be black. And
Yeah, my mother is a kind, sweet lady. I'm not gonna make her serve tea. I'm gonna be like, Mom, you know what? You want to be in a black body? She's already black, but you want to be in a white body? I'm gonna put you in a sexy ass white body, and I'm gonna put you on the beach somewhere, and you go chill and relax with that, and I'll have someone else play the maid. It's okay. You didn't have to have the grandparents play that. It unraveled at the end.
Lee,
It fell apart.
thoughts?
so my whole thing is that did I enjoy the film? Yes, I enjoyed it. But was it like, did it stand out that much? No, not really. I mean, and I don't even see it really as a horror movie because it's not like he was going to die. I mean, he wasn't really in fear of his life in that sense. He was still there. I mean, you saw the Lakeith Stanfield's character, come out when the camera flashed. So, I mean, he's not dead. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I didn't see the horror in that. Was it a thriller? Yeah. But a horror movie, I mean, I'm looking like, Jordan Peele's next project is supposed to be Candyman, right? That's a horror movie. That's something scary. Like,
He's producing that.
Oh, is he
yeah.
producing it?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he wanted. Anyway. So, yeah. So, I mean, it just, I don't know. I just didn't get the horror of it. And it just seemed like a lot of just shock value jump scares.
My
And
favorite,
it just, yeah.
I liked Get Out. My favorite horror types are when you just can laugh, like in the best way. You're sort of uncomfortable, and it's just making you not go, what? And then don't go in there. All those cliches that make a good horror movie for me. And I thought Get Out was filled with them. And I got to go with you guys because I just thought it was original. It just felt different. It just took turns, right? I just didn't expect it to. And then like that Allison Williams is like such a good villain near the end. Like
That's
she's just
true.
brutal.
Yeah.
There was definitely a lot to it that I was intrigued by. I don't know. I guess I'm having trouble understanding why it's a bad film. I do think it's a good standout start for his career. I get why he got the accolades there. I mean, why do you think he's overrated with Get Out? Just because.
So if we're gonna sit there and say that, okay, his directorial debut. Actually, he's done other stuff, but this is his first directorial debut as a director for a
didn't
feature.
he direct Keanu?
Yeah,
co-directed.
I think so.
So there's
I gotta
that.
check
So let's say that. Okay.
Which was
technically-
terrible for the record.
Right. So technically, he
love
executed
Cats,
a
too.
thriller, and it looked beautiful, and the acting and the performances in it were great. I mean, I don't have anything against any of the acting. I just thought that the choices that were made weren't right. And like I said, there's a third of the film where I'm like, this is refreshing, this is cool. But then when it became Tales of the Body Snatchers and Brain Swappers and stuff like that, I'm like, that's not original. I've seen that before. And the only thing that's original about it is a concept that doesn't work. White people want to be playing black people. That didn't make sense to me.
So I kind of like the alternate ending that didn't get shown, which
Right.
was him being taken down by the cops at the end, because that felt more, I guess, truthful in this society that we live in. And I think that would have been more of an important, like something important to show, and more of just a risk than going with, oh no, he's saved by the TSA guy.
Well,
Rel's funny. I know
actually-
Rel's funny.
I was
don't
actually
need
gonna
that.
say that as my counter argument when you said it wasn't a horror movie. Like, especially you, brother. That seemed like the end of the movie was looking like he was going to take the fall for all those deaths. That is 100% a horror movie to me. That's
Then it
It
would've been.
would have been.
I understand that,
But
but
it was
even
a-
if you didn't have that alternate ending, it still in my head was like, oh shit. As soon as that cop pulled up, I was like, I know where this is going. He's going to jail. That is a 100% a horror movie to
Yeah.
me.
Instead, you
That
got the
is-
cheap laugh.
No, I thought it was a fun twist, and you wanted him to win. It was
Well,
like,
You did want him to win.
finally.
You expected him to go to jail. I think that
Everyone,
was a great twist.
I think that's again. If
But
I was
that
gonna
made it
pull
a
out a
horror movie to
moment,
me.
I'd say, hey, you know what? That was a cool moment. Everyone in the theater, I could feel the tension in the theater, and
And it
as
was
a director,
gory.
and as a director, I was like, yo, man, you nailed. If your intention was to make people go, it's okay, guys. Hey, listen, we're not gonna take it there. Then he nailed that. But I'm sorry, leading up to it, it didn't make sense. There's this chunk of a film that just doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I feel like that you want the heroine to kill Jason at the end.
You
Like,
do, but you also have those moments in these classic horror movies like Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th, where they come back and they don't technically win. I mean, you don't remember that scene where the mom's waving bye to Nancy at the end of Nightmare on Elm Street, and then the arm just comes out and grabs her through the door?
Yeah, she's still
yeah,
in the
but
nightmare.
I
mean-
think he was so. I love the scene too, where where Catherine Keener's like they both look at the cup, like they're trying who's going to get to it first. Like there's some tense
The
moments,
struggle,
and
yeah.
you don't know where it's going to go. And I like that it didn't go cliche. Like he does beat some of them. He still could have lost. Like I don't know. I do feel like the tension was directed well. It went places. It did surprise us. It wasn't the obvious ending. They went other places. I want to cap this part because I don't know. I think I'm hearing more good. I think Get Out, pass. Okay, good start. I want to talk more about Us. Us. Now, was that a good follow-up? Was that just equally as good? Did it go better? Did it suffer sophomore slump? Let's start with you guys. Valerie, what did you think
I
of
did not
Us?
like it as much as Get Out. I liked it.
I agree with her.
I left the theater thinking I wouldn't see it again, but then I heard other people saying, "Oh, did you catch this, this, and this?" I'm like, "Well, no. Now I want to see it again," with just hidden things.
Details.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I would say sophomore slump for that.
So you don't.
Even though I did like
You're
it.
defending him, but you still think that film wasn't as good.
Yes.
No, yeah, and I 100% agree. I think Get Out was definitely a superior movie, but like I said, with details with Get Out, there's a lot of stuff I didn't see the first time seeing Us, and I do like the things that he added, some more social commentary, a lot of the stuff that gives you drawbacks to the '80s and as well.
All right, I need to hear more because you're pissing me off because it's like you're defending him as a hero, and to me you've listed well. There's a lot of symbolism. Ooh, okay, why? And there's a lot of '80s references. Okay, so what? Why was the movie? Why was that movie helpful to show that he's actually an auteur? Like, what made that a good directed thing? I mean, because I have this challenge, and correct me, I don't mean to be blunt, but I'm just like, just because you put a bunch of symbolism that we missed the first time doesn't make what does that suddenly
It makes it
make
rewatchable.
does that make
it
him a good
movie?
director and make it a good movie? Just because he's smart and thought, well, I'm going to make the rabbit mean something because there's rabbits in the basement
doesn't a
for
movie-
some reason.
Wabbits.
Doesn't a movie that makes it rewatchable make it
Oh,
a good movie?
he was teasing the rabbit earlier with that shot that took 100 minutes in the opening.
If that's the,
That opening was annoying as hell.
not for,
So annoying.
Like, what's
it just
going
reeked
on?
of like, I'm Jordan Peele. I can do whatever the fuck I want now. Shut up. This,
Look at these
this
rabbits.
fucking rabbit is important.
Look at
Shut
all
up.
the rabbits.
See? Look at the rabbits.
I
What does the
emptied
rabbit
that
mean?
pet shop. I emptied it. It's gone. All the you don't get a rabbit today.
I
got them all.
I want you to reply, but go ahead. I mean, do you guys agree with me? Do you think
yeah, man, that sucked. I'm sorry.
It wasn't good. No.
I'm like, if Get Out, to me, Get Out was like, hey, cool, man, a good directorial thriller. Hey, you didn't fail, but you didn't hit the level of whatever that people were saying. And then Us was like, even worse. I saw Us, and honestly, I sat there and said, I know the twist. I know this twist.
Well, they open
And
with it.
They
It's
open
so
with a
clear.
twist.
Spoilers, we're going to talk because it's been
Yeah.
out 3 weeks. Sorry, it's too late.
They,
But yeah, why would she's running into that girl in the funhouse? It's like, okay, well,
I know the twist. We've seen this before. I know the twist. We know what's going on. The only thing was it's across America thing. I'm like,
fuck was that?
So
though?
so let me get this straight. I'm sorry, I'm going into spoilers here. Y'all killed a bunch of people just to hold hands.
What does that even mean? I didn't understand a fucking thing
it
about
doesn't
that
make
part.
any sense to me. Does anyone on the couch?
That made them target
What
practice.
was Hands Across
In
America?
defense of that, they didn't have souls, so they didn't really.
They could have been
understand
mowed
what's going
down by
on.
any helicopter
say, like,
flying by
They
with a gun.
watched the
I
video
mean,
and they're like, "This is what we'll do."
fucking
They didn't
fucking
have
Apache
souls.
would've
They
just
didn't
shot
know
him
what they were
down.
doing.
They
were
did have
physically not
souls
there
because they were
mentally.
half of another soul, technically, according to the explanation. But then here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna
we're
be
linked
target
to them.
practice.
We're tethered.
We just caused mass murder here. Let me hold my hand while the cops and the helicopters
Just stand still.
shoot
And just stare.
They weren't
stare.
like
all there
snipers
in
were
the
just
head.
sitting there going
Did you expect
one,
them to
two. They
do
were
surgery
How about hit up
after
a
or
fucking
become
McDonald's?
doctors?
Get something to eat. You've been in a basement this entire fucking time.
eating
Eat
raw
some bunnies.
rabbits.
Go eat some fucking food. Damn.
Chick-fil-A.
You're asking a lot from
Well,
people
I
that
mean,
been underneath the ground for years. You're asking a lot. Whoa, we'll do this, do that.
Why were they
No,
in
I'm
the
gonna
ground?
fucking
know
hold
what they're
hands.
doing.
Does anyone
They could have
understand
held
why
hands
they were-
underground.
First of all,
All
they-
right, hold on. Why were they in the tunnel?
I don't know.
Now,
And what?
Because they were part of a clone
Because you're
project.
supposed to be defending him in this movie, and I have so many problems with the movie. That opening title, "There are tunnels across the world that are empty." Like,
Yeah,
first
they're
of all,
unused.
you're giving it away. Like the whole movie, I'm waiting. Well, clearly they're coming from the tunnel.
We know.
Like-
Did they come from Mexico? I'm
I
guessing.
thought it was gonna be Hills Have
You
Eyes.
didn't need that weird fact of the tunnels, and then secondly, like, no one stumbles in these tunnels. Like,
That's a lot of people to be
Who's
hiding
doing
in
this experiment or whatever? Like.
On everyone? Did they
How-
get the DNA
and
from
no
23
one
and
but
Me?
that
I don't.
girl could go upstairs into the funhouse?
Yeah,
Was that
that's
funhouse built on purpose? Like
a
it
secret
just-
entrance to a lab?
There's like, okay, you can
Through a
argue, okay, I
funhouse,
need to
yeah.
rewatch to understand it, but there's a certain point where just like, this doesn't need to make sense. This is just stupid.
Go
I
ahead.
actually missed the
Defend
end
it.
of the description.
Oh, 'cause
at the
you
beginning
walked
of the
out.
tunnels. No,
Oh.
because some
Oh.
asshole came in and like almost knocked my Sour Patch Kids all over the floor.
Oh,
Obviously, I'm
jerk.
sitting right there.
We can turn
She
this
came in
into
late
huge
anyway.
assholes
I
at
was
the
so
theater.
You didn't miss it. It
right
just
now.
said there were tunnels all over the world.
that are
That's-
unused.
yeah,
or whatever it
unused.
said, yeah.
And-
Well,
yeah.
anyway, I was pissed because that was like.
By the way, this was the
Somebody
most
candy.
brightly
And then they went-
lit subway clean tunnel ever.
shit.
Seriously.
Fucking thing
Yeah.
was you're like
With the electricity
like these
still
people,
on.
These people who don't know how to. First of all, where do they sew their outfits? Secondly, where do they get matching
Yeah.
scissors? They like 8,000 matching scissors.
Amazon.
Okay.
From the
And
place,
enough-
from the place that's making these outfits, apparently.
I love that they're all like in like virtual reality where there's just enough room to walk and do exactly what they're.
Yeah.
Oh, the roller
Whoa,
coaster?
whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on.
It just felt so
This is our impersonation
cheesy.
of us.
It was very M. Night Shyamalan. So I gotta come. You guys haven't even defended this, but I'm already there with you. It was such an
They
M.
kind
Night
of did the
Shyamalan-
work for us. It was,
But it was
ah.
such an M. Night Shyamalan twist, in a way, like it just didn't make sense.
In
So
the
I-
bad ones,
defending,
yeah.
Like, how does that not make you think? All right, maybe we should pause on the Jordan Peele.
Doesn't make us want to pause on the Jordan Peele, but you do make a good. I agree with a lot of stuff you guys said about us. It's hard for me to defend it after all that shit. I'll admit that. It doesn't make me not want to watch Jordan Peele anymore. I think.
No, I'm not saying give up on him completely.
You know,
I mean, this wasn't Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know,
I will give you.
Absolutely.
I will give you a couple
100%.
of redeeming qualities about us. All right. the way they portrayed the black family was actually redeeming because
like normal people.
like normal people. They
Wasn't
didn't.
stereotypical,
They spoke normally.
Yes.
They had a good
They were in a
house,
vacation
education, they were on
home, yeah.
vacation
Yeah.
home. So
the
they were
going to
dad
the
spent
beach.
money recklessly on a boat.
I love that the dad was
Good
going through a
on that,
midlife crisis or whatever,
Yeah.
and I love the fact
And
that he
great
went.
acting, by
Yeah,
the way.
the
Yeah,
acting
all
was-
great
the
acting.
acting was
Winston Duke was
fantastic.
fucking awesome in that movie.
The acting was fantastic, and of course, you get a big, tall, black, rough guy who can come out and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna act tough," and the moment those people split, you're like, "Ooh, go
He
back
was
inside."
not tough. No.
So
And did he
that was
also really get
awesome.
hit that badly in the leg? I mean,
Yeah,
guy
that was a little weird.
I'm sorry, but he was a pussy the whole movie.
Yeah,
His,
that was.
his wife clearly took over all that shit.
Yeah, I'm sitting
Well,
there-
we know why. I mean,
Well,
Well, yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
one plot twist I did not see coming, though. I did not expect the rest of the world. Like, as soon as we saw the other family, I didn't see that coming.
I didn't. I also didn't.
I did see the coming where, it was a switch from the two ladies, but I didn't expect the rest of the world to be, involved in this. I thought
I'll
that
give
was
you
really
that.
weird.
I think that's a fair. I
Yeah.
didn't see that
I did
coming.
I did not see that coming at all.
So that was interesting.
I,
But
guess-
then
I
I
just
also
didn't care.
I was
didn't
also more
care
annoyed,
that
like,
they were all involved.
I was also just annoyed because they were so easy to kill. The Tim and Eric guy, the white family got killed immediately because those what were
they
they
were
called? The
soft as
shadows or whatever.
Yeah.
Tethered.
Those tethered were
Yeah.
just like knew how to kill people, and then for some reason,
Well, here's the thing too. So
Lupita. Well, I get why Lupita did it because she wasn't really the tethered.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
But
the daughter, right, kills the other one. What the fuck is that guy's tethered gonna do now? Is he just wandering around looking for him? Does he know he's dead? Because the dude that came by, like, get the fuck off my car, and the daughter, like, killed the guy. So I'm just like, what does that tether do? Does he just find his place in the fucking row, or does he not? Has he not earned it? That's my question.
Yeah, it was a little weird
Wanna
because
follow up
I
on
didn't
that
understand the rules because it was like
Yeah.
it seemed like for a moment there that okay, so the tethered they're trying to kill their doppelganger,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's why because the mom and I'm sorry, it's fresh in my head, so I don't know the characters' names, but the white family
Yeah.
they got ousted quick, like they were like cat done, and there's no cat and mouse kind of a game, which I understand. She wanted to play with the doppelganger a little bit, but I'm sitting there going, so why did mom spare people? They were like sparing them for a while. They were
Yeah.
holding on to her for a
Yep.
while, and I'm like, I don't understand the rules. So are you only allowed to kill your doppelganger? Because if that's the case, oh girl, like you said, killed the dude, and at the car, and I'm
now
going.
that doppelganger has to stand
I'm
on
like,
the side and watch the
Doppelganger's like,
hands.
man, you got my kill. You got my kill.
Yeah.
So what's the deal? So the rules were like kind of messed up, and then what you said was like, I didn't predict that. You're right. I didn't see the whole world being that way, but then that kind of messed it up even further. Because now we're like, so all these people were in the
yeah, and I immediately just started asking questions in my head, like, well, wait a second, huh? Wait, then what? And it just that took me out of it. That wasn't like, oh shit, I was more like, what?
yeah, where we going with this now?
Didn't see it coming, but
Yeah.
I,
Yeah,
But that's also you don't. There's,
I didn't see the happening coming either, but
Yeah.
man,
what?
I
Wait,
sure
what?
had a lot of moments in that just kept coming.
The trees?
Hot
What?
dogs, man, they're just round and good. So, all right, so it's. I mean, you
Us failed.
Is anyone? Can you defend? Either of you step up to give me some defense in us, or are we sort of saying
my
it's a
biggest-
wash?
That was my biggest defense right there. You guys.
Yeah,
what do you
we
think?
killed us. Us is dead. Us.
All right, so
Get out
Us
a
is
little
dead.
better.
Get Out is. I feel like we can give Get Out a thumbs up, but Us we got to give a question mark. And I do look. There's a lot of people who are like love this movie, and they're like, well, no, you got to see it again. I imagine all of us only saw this once, right?
Why do I need to give them more money?
But that's where I'm confused. Is I don't like this idea of like, well, no, you don't understand the movie. You need to see it again. Like, no, I don't want to see it again. It wasn't intriguing to me. I don't need to watch that boring rabbit shot again to sort of try and figure out. Oh, the rabbit was Alice in Wonderland connect or whatever the fuck he's going for. Just making a reference doesn't make you a genius. It makes you smart. It makes you organized. And bravo. But that's what's frustrating to me about that movie. I don't. There's all these threads on Twitter and everyone like losing their minds with how connected it is and all these things. But so what? You guys
Those are the same people who
gotta be
got
good the
obsessed
first
with
time.
Pandora or fucking Pandora from Avatar, and hated their lives because it wasn't in 3D when it is.
I don't think. No, these people were smarter than that. But
They
so
like to
let's-
think they are.
Does Jordan Peele deserve the hype? Let's end there to sort of end this question of is he more obviously, look, this is a stupid fight, I'll admit it, just because he's made 2 movies. We can't really tell.
I mean, he's made
But-
The Twilight Zone. He's made Weird City. He's done some other things, but I mean, no, he hasn't. He hasn't done enough to get the hype yet. And I feel like people who went to South by Southwest and saw this movie were all like, "Oh, we can't bash Jordan Peele. He did Get Out, and it was so good, and people loved it so much. Why would we bash Us too?
Right. Well, and I want to echo that because I think there's something interesting. Because I don't. I think he's a genius in a way because he marketed Us brilliantly. and my conspiracy brain goes off for a little bit, but it's like the whole campaign to begin Us was Us first, and he brought all of like African American influencers, critics. They all came in to see it first, and I was like all over Twitter and social media and the news, just like everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's just Us! Yeah, Jordan Peele, woo!" And it's like, okay, great. I see what you're doing. Like I applaud that. Good. We need to have that. But at the same time, it was like he set this tone where it felt like, oh, and as a white person, I immediately was like a little scared of like, oh, okay, I gotta treat this movie more delicately because this is important, and I don't want to disrespect it in a way. And I don't know. Does anyone feel like that? Is that fair to do? Like, I think it is. We're being fair in the show and we're doing it. But like, does anyone agree? Like, he sort of. And I think it was smart because it almost set the tone for the film on such a high bar that the critics all loved it. And then the word of mouth that opening weekend was brilliant. And then when I did my reactions afterwards of people walking out, the audience was so bummed. Like, I would say more than half the audience who left was like, man, that was really not as good as everyone kept saying it was.
Yeah,
like,
there was a severe
I do feel like
disconnect
he lifted it up, this sort of,
Yeah.
not just through the diversity, but like he lifted up this idea of like, this is an important movie. We got to stand by Us first. We got to do it. And in a way, I feel like it almost was a brilliant move because it created this aura of, oh, well, we can't knock this movie yet. Did anyone feel that? Was it just me?
I mean, he did. I mean, and it worked. I mean, one of the highest, it grossed higher than Get Out. And I mean, crossed the $100 million threshold. That's fantastic for a movie that was probably $10 million budget.
Hey man, as a director and a promoter, he did his thing.
Yeah,
The studio had his back. Yeah.
He marketed it and he positioned himself in a great marketing.
He created controversy.
I would
with the
steal
Hollywood Reporter
his
interview?
marketing techniques. I would steal that. You know what I mean? Be like, yo, Latin films, Latin only. This is only Latino. You know?
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, man. You know, but
Yeah.
the thing is that Robert Rodriguez is also very pro-Latino. He casts Latinos in his films all the time, but he doesn't hold Latino-only press conferences.
I mean, he also does throw Edward Norton in there all the time. I don't know why. I don't think Edward Norton's Hispanic,
he
but
likes
you know.
Edward Norton, but it's all good.
it's
But
fine.
my point is that, and I understand that. First of all, Jordan Peele as a talent, I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking his writing. I'm not knocking his creativity, and I'm not knocking him as a person. And I even like the fact that he's trying to boost, the African American community.
Me too, yeah.
I just think that boost is giving his films about a 40% fluff, easily, or because for people to come out of the critics to come out of it and go, oh my God, this is so awesome. I'm like, I'm sorry, if I'd have turned that entire cast into white, they would have not gotten that hype.
Yes,
that's
I
true.
agree with
Not
that.
gotten that
wholeheartedly.
hype. People would not come out of that film going, this is.
I don't think anyone's going to disagree with the promotion point that you both made, but like besides Jordan Peele, though, who's making original content right now that's on that scale?
Good point.
Taraji P. Henson.
Nobody.
Well, hold on.
Regina Hall. Regina
Yeah,
Hall's
right.
making great.
I mean, for actors,
films.
yeah, but they're not.
No,
writing
as a
great
producer.
films.
No, I mean as producer.
You-
She's
like,
producing
what,
great
What
films.
women want?
That's
Did
not
she
little.
make that?
Yeah,
produce that?
I think she produced it. Yeah.
I don't know if
No,
that's
but
helping the cause.
Black Monday, the TV show with Don Cheadle and
That's Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg.
no, but Don Cheadle's a producer and so is Regina Hall.
Yeah, well, because they're talent. Seth
producers,
and
man.
Evan oversaw that one. more.
They oversaw some of it.
All
They
right.
did the pilot.
So
I'm just
we
saying.
can say, obviously, we can say Tyler Perry has been doing elevating
I-
African American
I'm
community
gonna-
forever.
elevating?
Whatever.
How can I scoot over? This thing doesn't work.
Hey, in a
looks
sense,
from the
in
booth
a
on the
sense,
mouth.
in a sense of putting them in films, putting them in highlights, making stories. And then,
Medea's now 800th funeral. I mean,
yeah,
come
I
on.
understand.
That's
Listen,
original.
I'm over it too.
How many funerals can she go to?
I'm forgetting the name of the director who did Wrinkle in Time.
Eva DuVernay.
Okay, so
DuVernay? I don't know.
she's had African Americans in lead
Wrinkle
roles.
of Time sucks.
I
That movie
understand
was
that.
really
And we're just
fucking
talking about directors.
So bad.
She's
Okay,
done good movies. I mean,
Black
Selma
Panther.
was really great.
Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler.
Ryan
Thank
Coogler.
you.
There we
Ryan
go.
Coogler. There we go. Ryan Coogler. My point is that there have been African
Ryan
American.
Coogler deserves the. I feel like
He
deserves
deserves the hype.
Creed was
He took
fantastic.
Creed-
Yeah, Creed
How
was.
he figured out how to make Rocky relevant again in a really cool, smart
After
way.
like 3 attempts,
And
it
But he doesn't hold
failed.
it all. But he
and
doesn't.
then he
hold-
took Marvel and was like, "I got this.
But again,
Leave me alone. I got
Creed-
this." And I feel like all of Marvel was kind of afraid, like, can we tell him no? No, all right, just let him do his thing.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then-
I mean,
and
they
you
could-
could just tell I don't buy for a second Kevin Feige and all them like, yeah, this is gonna be such an powerful important bullshit. I don't care what he says now, bullshit. That was like, yeah, we're just gonna let's let them make this movie.
I mean, let's be
Oh
honest.
yeah,
here.
oh okay, yeah. It
What-
was like Guardians too. Like it was space. Like they let James Gunn do his thing, and once in a while they let someone do their thing, and they're genius. And Ryan Coogler, bravo! Like
Yeah,
that's how
absolutely.
you. That was originality for me, even though both of those things were things he
what-
stole. But go ahead, Lee.
Let's be honest here, though. Ryan Coogler did such a fucking fantastic job with Black Panther that when he
And
said,
Creed.
yeah, and Creed, but with Black Panther, when he said like, hey, I want to take a few years and do like some passion projects, Marvel was too scared to say no.
Right.
They were like, Black Panther should have been greenlit so fucking fast for a sequel. Like they should have
He's
been. That
so
should
in
be
demand
coming out
right now.
next
He
year.
could do whatever he wants.
Yeah, but
and-
he chose
yeah.
like no. I mean, he dropped Creed 2 to do,
Which was smart.
Which it was smart, but. I mean, yeah, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's untouchable right now.
But what I just because it's not, I'm not trying to compare, but what's interesting is I feel like he took the most uncommercial properties, I mean the most unoriginal properties, and somehow made them original, which was that's impressive to be able to pull that off.
His own, but it's still in the Rocky franchise. Is that 100% original?
But I mean, there's other direct. I mean,
Adonis Creed didn't exist in.
Yeah, it's definitely original.
so he
concept
created a
in
character.
an unoriginal world, though. But that was my point when it came to Jordan Peele.
he's making new universes,
Exactly. That
and
was
it's
my
true.
point.
I can't think of other people right now that
That's
are doing it, especially successfully.
100%.
And I will give
was
that-
my
I will
point.
give
In
that-
movies, maybe TV.
TV's a different subject.
Yeah, but
that
movies-
was my point. Anybody else besides Jordan Peele making 100% original content? I don't think so.
So I mean, I guess it's fair to say that's worthy applauding. That's
Yeah,
worthy applauding.
absolutely.
We all
Very
agree on
much
that.
so.
Absolutely,
Stop it.
I'll agree
Yeah.
with that. I'll say that Jordan Peele's bringing some fresh content, some fresh faces, and some fresh looks at things. Yes, I don't think that the execution is as hype as it should be. I honestly, I don't think that like, okay, we just talked about I don't know, I keep drawing blank. Maybe it's because I drank too much.
Ryan Coogler?
Ryan Coogler. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
That's why I have my partner here. Ryan Coogler. We just talked about him. He didn't have to hold an all-black conference to drop Black Panther. He didn't have to do that. And it was still a fantastic film. And no one's going to argue that it's not a fantastic film. He didn't have to do the publicity stuff.
Right, and I think it was a fantastic film because he didn't do that, because everyone could connect to that, and that's what the beauty of Black Panther was.
I mean,
for
you
the first
did see a
time.
lot of white people doing Wakanda Forever.
Yeah,
after
no,
the
but
movie.
that's what
Which
I
is
think
great.
was brilliant, because it was for black audiences, but it was really for everybody, and he didn't try and put a color on it. I mean, he did, but you know what I mean? Like, it felt, he just made a movie,
It
which
was
was
accessible.
Yeah.
It was absolutely accessible.
And I do agree. Like, I get it. I'm all, because Jordan Peele made those comments too. Like, I'll never hire a white actor to be in my leads, to be a lead in my film. And I see what he's saying, but I mean,
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, there's
But
90% of other
be
movies.
creative
out there
about
with
it.
that.
Figure out a way to make it. Why are you making color? I know it's like, why just make the best movie you can make, and yes, give these actors more opportunities, and especially in big studio successful movies.
Woody
but-
Allen's been casting white leads for how many films? So, and he didn't have to do a press conference to do it. You know what I mean? He didn't have to do an interview and say, "I will only hire
He
neurotic
doesn't
men."
do press conferences. He's
Yeah,
gotta-
that's true.
he doesn't wanna
Those
talk to
get
press.
turned way too fast.
But anyway, all right. So overall, torn on this one. Does he deserve the hype? I think Ian and Valerie, good job, because we need original storytellers. But I got to give
They're
Damien the
calling him
truth of
Hitchcock.
he's not Hitchcock yet. He has not earned that right. And to end it there, no one really brought it up. Did anyone see Twilight Zone? The first, at least one of the
I
first.
did. I saw both
have
of them.
not.
Did you saw both of them? What did
Yeah.
you think?
I didn't like the first episode, the comedian one. I didn't like it at all. The second one was a decent one. It was about an airplane story.
It was a remake of Nightmare
All
on
original
30,000
concepts.
feet. Yeah.
So so it's a hit or miss. It's kind of like this conversation right now with Get Out and Us. So,
And he's not directing them, but he is overseeing them.
He's
and-
producer and
yeah.
hosting.
But even like
yeah.
the comedian that it took forever, and then he comes
Yeah,
out and
it's-
I saw him and I'm like, really? This
Yeah.
it was a thumbs down for me,
Me
because
too.
I was excited.
I agree.
I was like, oh,
Well,
this
see-
is like Black Mirror, but he's gonna do like more sort of commercially, not so depressing, interesting, scary stories, and it just feels like really bad, cheap TV.
The
and it's like
critics
a
too
bummer.
are the exact opposite. The critics loved the comedian and
I
thought
don't get it,
Nightmare
yeah.
30,000 Feet was kind of like, we've seen this before, and they
Comedian
made
is
it kind
so
of they made it
overlong.
xenophobic, is what the one article I read.
And I'll agree
This
with you.
today.
If you're gonna watch like a Twilight Zone type thing, watch Black Mirror.
Black Mirror is so fucking
yeah,
good.
that's my.
But
choice.
don't binge watch that. You'll kill yourself.
Yeah.
We got Kill the DJ. That was sort of happy.
I
It
love
was fine.
Killing DJ, by the way.
That was a great one. Yeah.
And also the one with the two lesbian couple. That was a.
Oh
good
yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Junipero,
Juniper.
Junipero.
San Junipero.
San
yeah.
Junipero.
That one.
You would love that
Oh
one.
yeah, it was,
I would
was
love
great.
that one.
Mackenzie Davis is amazing in that.
All right, so I gotta say, overall, I think he doesn't deserve the hype. I think, man, he's not Hitchcock. He's definitely more M. Night Shyamalan, but that's not a diss, because M. Night Shyamalan made The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
And that's a great film.
I want his next movie.
I like
I-
Split better.
but
I
think,
want Jordan Peele's next movie to be twistless. I want that to be the twist, that there is no fucking twist. Give me a straight movie that has, let it be as complex as you want it, but it doesn't need that shock value twist that you keep trying to force in there.
And I just want to go on record saying that I want Jordan Peele to succeed. I actually want him to
Yes.
succeed. I think that
He
is
is
bringing
succeeding.
something.
Don't worry.
Well, yeah. Well, no. Okay. Let me.
making a lot of
like his
money.
movies or
Succeeding
not?
really well.
let me
I don't
finish-
think our 100 views here will put a ding
Yeah.
on Jordan Peele's
That's
success.
what I'm saying.
Well, my point is that like I don't want people to hype him up so much that he comes out with a third film and people are like, oh, it's his Signs or it's his
Signs had some moments.
Signs had some moments
You
until
don't
the
want to
end.
say
it's
It's
his-
the end.
it's
the
his
end.
lady in the water.
It's his lady in the
Yeah.
water. You know, I don't want him to
It's
say
his
that.
last
Airbender.
Airbender.
Like I don't want
Yeah.
that to happen to him. I want him to just realize, catch it early, like you said. Damn, I did 2 movies with a twist or whatever the case. Let's do something. And I think, for example, the way he injects comedy into it. Not that this is gonna happen. And aside from my boy Dominic Smith, I think he'd do a great Nightmare on Elm Street. Because it has the comedy, he had good comedic timing. He could throw that into a thriller. I think he could do
But
that.
let's have him make his own Nightmare.
Yes.
His own
Let's figure
nightmare.
out his own reoccurring
Yes.
franchise person.
His
Kind
own
of done
thing.
with
I
the
would
evil
love for him to
pedophile.
figure out like
I
what's
don't
his
need that
Jason,
anymore.
what's his Freddy, what's his
Yeah, he needs to
Halloween.
come up with an original
Let's
character,
exactly, and I agree. It doesn't always have to have a twist, but let's see what's his version of the slasher movie. What's his version of this? Like, if he does that approach, I'm down, and I'll keep going and give him a shot because he's taking chances. And I applaud him. He could have waited 10 years to make his follow up after he won an Oscar for Get Out.
I think he
like
would
that's
make
pressure, man. And he's like, fuck it, I'm going to doing it again.
He should do a barbecue Becky movie. Have her be like the next Freddy
Ah.
Jason or something like that. That'd be good.
Hey,
I
can,
was just
can I
trying
give
to
him
park my
kudos for
car.
one thing that was not discussed here?
Yeah.
So as a music fan, I absolutely loved
Oh yeah.
that he brought that song in because that song is
I got
creepy,
vibe
man.
on it.
Every time
I
it
listen
came,
to that song still.
I love it, and just the way they
Ba-dum,
the way
ba-dum,
and the way it was at the
ba-dum,
end. But
bum.
I mean, every time I heard it on the TV when I was like home by myself, I was like shit. And then they'd show him in the streets. That was very like strangers like to me.
No,
I'd have to
that
turn
was
it off
a good.
'cause I
That was a
scared.
good directing choice. I imagine he was very
the
keen on
dancing,
that.
the dancing
Right?
portion,
Yeah.
the dancing portion
on.
with that twist on the song, that way he remixed it.
Yeah.
The
that
dark
was,
remix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Scary.
creepy.
that is actually something that I can, like I said, I could pull out some moments and go that moment, this moment.
But then you got to look at those rabbits again. We're like, fuck
Yeah.
no.
Fucking rabbits.
Why
For
are
like
they
20 minutes.
everywhere?
Rascally rabbits.
Are they
were
duplicating
eating them?
Are
Like,
they
what?
duplicates of rabbits?
Can you live off raw rabbits for that
I would've-
long? I don't know. All right, well,
Tethered rabbits?
Elmer
Where are
Fudd
the other
said
animals?
there, I
then?
think we've come to the decision that he's more M. Night Shyamalan. What do you think? Tell us in the comments below. Let's quickly thank our panel again. Damien,
Yo,
there's your Twitter link. Go follow him there.
yep, Mr. Creative Freedom or Mr. Creative Free 1 if you want to find it on
Mr.
Twitter.
Creative Freedom was stolen. All right.
Yeah, I
and
know.
Lee, they
Hey,
can
how's
find
it
you at
going?
the Funko Pop King. What's your favorite Funko Pop you
I
have?
actually have a Cthulhu. It's the only one I've unboxed, sitting on the Iron Throne. And yeah, it's the bronze one from Hot Topic, man. But I have like 650 other ones.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's getting bad.
Can you take a picture for us next time you come?
They're in a closet right now, stacked. Yeah, I can't.
So you don't take them out to play with them. You
no,
store
no,
them.
Why
for,
would I do that? No, they're in the box and they
Oh,
stack so
man.
nicely.
And does your partner okay with that?
My girlfriend, I mean, she really doesn't have a choice. I make way more money than she does. So
All right.
I'm gonna spend that how I want.
All right. Valerie, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming. Anything
you
you'd
for
like to
having me.
plug?
Plug?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have a Twitter account.
I love that. I love it.
Good.
I refuse. I'm
It's
not
a
gonna-
toxic place. You don't
Yeah,
want.
Don't go there.
I'm good with Facebook. I also don't go on Instagram. A one's enough for me. I
Good
don't need
for
like
you.
all these social media outlets and shit.
Well, you'll have to come back for our next horror episode. Thank you as
Absolutely.
always. Ian, the controversy. Check it out.
Thank you.
We'll put the link down below. Follow them on Twitter. Follow all these folks if you need to. No, they don't need your follows. They're good people.
I mean, you can.
No, you don't.
You're only gonna see
We
pictures
know
of my
these
dog.
followers.
Yeah, and I'm not a cool.
Do you like white dogs? Because that's what I have. So you can look at her.
Why'd you have to make it racist?
That's not racist. That's her fur.
I'm kidding. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next time. Bye. Natty Light.